Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this review of episode 4 of the Orville. Nothing left on Earth excepting the fishes. Tom, this music is very melancholy, but has a lot of soul, don't you think?
It's very soulful, yeah. It's kind of fitting for the show in a way. I mean, a little bit more upbeat would have been better, but oh well. It was a great episode.
We'll switch to something upbeat if you want.
That's all right. That's all right. It works. It works for now.
Yeah,
we just wanted something different. We had to get going. So
yeah, this is called Americana by Kevin MacLeod. We have to give him credit, and this is actually very, like I said, the Orville just keeps getting better and better and better and better.
Oh, good Lord.
Good Lord. Like I said, this is going to be a very short, well, not very short. This is going to be a short enough episode because
it's just you and I for now. But but again, well, there is actually a lot to say about this episode, and we'll get into it. But first, we got to hear your synopsis, and then we'll get going real quick.
So as we check back in on Captain Mercer, he's been cozying up to the new.
We've obviously had a little time jump here, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like So it's a few weeks into the relationship. They're watching The King and I, the great Yul Brynner, and she's not, she's not very. I don't want to say she's not very receptive, but she's kind of playing along. You can tell it's not really her thing, and in a B plot. Also, we have Gordon.
What was her name though? What was her name though?
Leslie.
Leslie what?
I
think Tyler was her last name, but anyway,
Leslie Tyler, I believe it was.
That's very important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, CD Horn. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us in the chat. But yeah, let's talk some more. Yeah, Leslie Tyler. So she and Ed are chilling, watching movies. Gordon wants to start the training program, and I love Bortus. He will fail. that was great.
Well, he seems to have a bit of an ulterior motive.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in a few minutes. Yeah. So anyway, Leslie and Ed are going to go on. First of all, he wants to tell Kelly that the relationship is starting to take off, and so she's almost looking for. He values her opinion. She gives him her blessing, and they get the idea they're going to take off on a vacation together. And then what happens? The Krill attack.
Well, first they didn't think they were going to get attacked because they cloaked what they thought was soon enough and ducked out of the way, and then they overpassed them. And then I'm sitting here thinking, "Alert the Orville! Alert the Orville! They're on the way!"
Yeah, alert the Orville. What happened? Oh, geez, I'm out of music.
Around.
Yeah, I'm out of music. It seems so. The music ran out. Like, really, been at this for 3 minutes already? Holy cow! So anyway, but then they turn around and then they vent the drive plasma, which actually exposes the shuttle, and it reveals their position, and they get captured by the Krill, and they get taken, and they get put into lockup into the Krill Huskow, into the brig. They want the command. The Krill wants the command codes for the Union defenses.
Looking mighty grim for our hero and his girl.
They have
Lady Fair,
and they're going to attempt to coerce Captain Mercer with by torturing Leslie.
Well, they start by trying to torture him, but he's like, it's not going to work. I'm not going to give you anything. Well, of course they go for the heart.
Yeah, they go for the heart. Yeah, like the Green Goblin said in Spider-Man. The heart, attack his heart. Yes. So anyway, but and as we come back to the Orville, we see Gordon actually trying to impress a young lady by saying he's taking the officer's training program.
And Kelly overhears a little bit of their conversation.
And he's like, "Oh, well, why do you want to? Why just? I'm a pilot. Yeah, is this all going to be? Yeah, all right. It's all right. It's to impress girls. Yeah, you know what? Yeah." He's like, he goes, and she says, "Gordon, if you want to people to think you're cool, you've already achieved that a long time ago,
right?"
And so yeah, we cut back and we find out that Talea from the first of all, first, okay.
Cut out some real quick there. The thing that Gordon keeps trying to do is he's trying to pass basically like a test. It's a lot like the Kobayashi Maru, I assume, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And basically it's a situation where he has a Krill prisoner and it's trying to negotiate handing over that prisoner and at the same time making sure that there's going to be some kind of
there has to be a diplomatic solution. He has to find.
Yes, thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
A diplomatic solution to it, because this will be important later on as well. So I just wanted to bring up that foreshadowing there. But anyway, move forward. So then Kelly kind of figures out that he's kind of doing it to get the chicks. But at the same time, he does sit there and say, I have to ask myself this question. I'm a pilot. Is that all I'm good at, is just driving from one place to another? And I mean, if I'm not going to be good enough for myself, am I going to be good enough for somebody else? Kind of thing. So, I mean, a very character moment for his character, something we haven't seen, a more tender side of him in a way, a more real side of him, because normally he's the guy who's joking around and, the goofball, and, you never really see him have a real moment like to where you see him without the gruff exterior.
Yeah. This is why you're here, because I forget those things. I would just plod right on to the next point.
But then anyway, so then past that, then Kelly does tell him, it's you got to make life or death situations as a captain,
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not all just glory and it's not all glory and picking up women, impressing people.
Right.
There's
basically going, if you're sure this is what you want, the responsibility, is this something you really want? And she's trying to be in his corner in a way. She's not discouraging him, but she was still like, making sure that he's doing it for the right reasons, like she said, basically.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we cut back to the main plot with Mercer, and Mercer apparently has given the Krill the codes. And I thought I thought he gave him up kind of easy,
Well, but they were torturing his lady, and
torturing lady again. Go for the heart.
And
then and then who do we see? We see Talea actually reemerge from the season 1.
Yes, indeed.
And actually there's a moment there where he recognizes her, Talea, and she says that Leslie no longer exists because
she never existed in the first place.
That's right.
Oh, they pulled Tyler. They pulled a fucking Tyler Vach better in 3 episodes than STD ever could have dreamed, and they did it so fucking well. And it's a big fuck you, because goddamn well that's why your last name is Tyler. Sorry, I've been holding that in for a while.
Yeah.
I laughed and I'm like, oh, fuck yes. They have so just kicked them right in the nuts.
Look, I ain't threatening you in the nuts. Look.
Shit, wrong sound effect, sorry.
But it was like that. It was like Samuel Jackson just kicked him in the nuts. Yeah. It was like, damn. Oh man, they just pulled an STD and they did it even better, because the episode doesn't even end there. Now that's already half the season of STD we just talked about.
Yeah, that could have been a good cliffhanger if you think about it. That could have been a really good cliffhanger. Yeah, and they picked up back. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, so they and actually, what happens during the middle of their confrontation of their little meetup again? They get attacked by actually Klingorks. These guys are real Klingorks.
I didn't catch their names. What did they call them? I didn't.
Shuktal or something like that. Shuktal, I believe. Yeah, the Shuktal. They don't take prisoners. They're ruthless Kling. And you got to figure the Krill probably made a lot of enemies along the way too.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, they have to trust. They're in a situation where they have to trust each other. It's a very enemy mind kind of situation. So they go to an escape pod together. And the escape pod is programmed to seek out the nearest inhabitable planet. And they go to this planet. There's an oxygen atmosphere, and it's by default Janelle. Janelle is the girl. Oh, it's Janelle. I'm sorry. Janelle Tyler was her name.
Oh, okay.
I should remember that. should remember that because I knew a Janelle. Yeah, well, that's neither here.
I just remembered the last name. That stuck out to me right away after the whole twist.
Yeah. I like the name Janelle. You don't hear too many Janelles. But anyway. So anyway, they land on the dark side of the planet, and the Klingorks are in hot pursuit. And again, they have to trust each other. And so
there's a magnetic field preventing them from broadcasting out, so they have to get to the highest point to get out away from the field. So that's kind of where they're heading, up a hill or up a mountain.
Yeah, well, it makes, like I said, it makes sense. You got to broadcast from the highest point.
I was hoping for a moment we'd get like that famous rock from Star Trek that's been in a million other movies. I can't remember where. It's
called Vasquez Rocks. It's
Thank you.
Outside of Los Angeles in the Mojave Deserts. Tons of science fiction programs have been shot there. Star Trek, the Roswell, and a lot of movies. A lot of movies have been shot out there.
Oh, this just is so Star Trek, though. I was just getting the Star Treks through the whole thing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just, I'm
but it gets better yet.
It still gets better. They have to hunker down in a cave together
because they know the sunlight's coming and they don't have enough time to get to the top of the hill. And even though she's pretty much told Mercer she's going to kill him, he still shows that he's more concerned with her life by saying, no, we can't do this. You have to get into shelter or you're going to die. So they, like you said, they go to a cave to hunker down,
knowing that she's probably going to kill him. She's, after you broadcast signal, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, she flat out says that.
Yeah, but Ed is still trying to, he's still trying to help her. Eric Kelly says, how much super chat donation for a sound effect for Rob to get? I don't understand that sentence.
I think he wants to,
I don't know.
Perhaps, I think.
I work cheap. Don't worry.
If you want us to work a sound effect in here, just let us know. We'll definitely do it. Yeah, we just have to know what you want. So yeah, anyway, back to the show. So while they're in the cave, though, we learn a lot about the Krill. We learn a lot more about how they view themselves and others, and how they
view other races. I mean, and
how they have a very what is it? Like early centuries Christianity kind of view, almost / Nazi kind of view.
Almost puritanical in a sense, yeah.
Right, because he just before they get to the cave, though, he asks her, he's like, of all those movies we watched, was there really any of them that you really did like? And she's like, yeah, the one about the Ark.
I love that.
And he's like, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And she's like, yeah.
This is the second Raiders of the Lost Ark reference actually this year.
Yeah, but then she goes, I sympathize with the hero. And she's like, oh, Indiana Jones. She's like, no, Balak.
He was a Nazi.
He's the bad guy.
Oh my God. So
she's convinced. Okay, so yeah, we get into the cave. She explains how they view other races, how they feel themselves are superior and created in their own God's image and all that kind of crap. And how other creatures don't have a soul, and how their own scientists even see humans as animals, so they obviously don't have a soul and all this kind of shit. So instead of arguing with her and getting all upset and doing anything, you can tell his wheels are turning. He's like, all right, I'm going to convince her that she can trust me. Not only that, but we're a peaceful, caring, empathetic race of beings. Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't. Here's the thing. Okay, listen. We know it. Seth MacFarlane. He's an avowed atheist. Okay, I don't care. I would say I don't care if you could worship Ronald McDonald for all I care. It doesn't matter to me. All right. But the way he explains it, he says, listen. He said to her, listen. And if I don't get this right, cut me a little slack because I haven't rewatched yet. He goes, our scientists have found that when a certain alien race or species, they start to venture into space and they encounter other alien races, they either let go of their prejudices or they become more xenophobic. And I can't remember the rest of that speech, but I'm like, but the way he explained it, it wasn't preachy, it wasn't condescending. And it just made her, it just gave her food for thought. It just made her. She's like you can see she started to question, a lot of things. Like, and she says to her, "Sleep on your side." What? Sleep on your side. When you sleep on your back, you snore. It's very irritating. It's just like, so you can tell, like, there was, even if there was, she didn't have a change of heart. She says, okay, I understand now where he's coming from. So anyway,
well, not just that, it was a moment to show that she actually paid attention to him beyond her job.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yes.
Even though it was kind of a critique, or however you want to put it, it still was kind of like one of those personal things, and you could tell he took it in a way that wasn't negative. It was like, oh, she actually did pay attention to me for real. You know what I mean? Because like he says, was any of that real at all for you? She's like, no, it was just a job or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, it was very real for me. Meaning that he's basically sitting there mourning the loss of this woman that he was falling in love with. I mean, he's dealing with this all at the same time as all this other shit. So, and you can see that going on in Seth. And that's where I got to give the guy credit, because I never gave enough credit in the past. I mean, I never have before. And this season alone, he's proved me wrong even though he did it prior to this, but time and time again with each episode.
Well, not only that, I mean, he's trying to find something of the woman he fell in love with that's still inside her. He's like, there's got to be something in there. There's still got to be something in there.
Well, right. But at that point, he's kind of trying to find a way to connect with her, but not so much that, oh, I'm going to get this relationship back. But like, no, but he's trying solution almost.
But he's trying to reach that woman that he started to fall in love with. He's like, there's got to be a little bit of her in there. I mean, that couldn't have all been an act. I've got to try to reach that person that, that I thought she was. Maybe there's still something. Maybe I could make her see what on my point of view. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's constantly trying to, instead of just, arguing with her or trying to make some big, huge point to her and acting like, I'm right, you're wrong. He just keeps, trying to, like you said, work in ways of like just little things here and there to kind of, see his point of view as opposed to hers. And I know we want to keep moving along here because we do have an STD review we want to get to after this, but
I wrap my foot around the headphone thing here.
So anyway, they wake up. She wakes up the next day.
Wake up.
He's gone. Thinks he takes off, but he's actually standing at the entrance of the cave. And what does he say?
Yeah. He goes, according to position of the sun, one day on this planet is 23 Earth days. So they're not going to sit around and wait for 3 weeks for the sun to set again. So he has to go up to the hill and set the beacon up. And he's asking her to trust him. Yes, Anthony Altieri. Yes, very enemy mind. This episode. So he says, "I will come back." She has to place her trust in him, even though he's.
Well, actually, this is a trope that's used quite often in these kind of shows, and I think it's been used in a lot in westerns too. But I just pointed out to Anthony Altieri. I think it's even been used in Trek before, but I know they did it in Planet of the Apes, He-Man. It's always a famous situation where you have two opposing people trapped in a situation where they have to work together. And two people not only that trust each other when the last two people trust each other. And of course, Enemy Mine was built off that entire idea, basically into a movie, and it's a great movie. But yeah, all those are great examples.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes, he sets up the beacon, but what does he do? He calls the Orville,
which I figured he was gonna do. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, yeah. Oh god! But like I said, and so they dispatch Bortus and Gordon to go get them. And there's no place to land, and just like, and no, we'll make it work. And Gordon shows why he's a great pilot. And so the Klingorks are coming, and they start shooting. And Captain, what's this? Captain Hare, you two sound so happy and alive and full of hope. Stop it! Oh, thanks for the Trek log. Nice to see Ren join you. Yes, and for that we get. There you go. There's your $5 sound.
Oh, geez. Well, we're going to talk some more STD in a little bit here, so So hold.
Oh yeah, this isn't gonna last.
Yeah, this isn't gonna last. Yeah, we're grinning now, but in about half hour, we're not gonna be grinning so much.
No. So anyway, the Klingorks are rapidly approaching, and she's gonna kill him. She is still gonna kill him. And he's like, "Don't do this. Come on, don't do this." And so they attack. And she has to cover up because of the sun, or otherwise she's gonna get incinerated. So he gets, he has to fight the Klingorks, and the Union, the Orville shuttle shows up in the nick of time. They get on the shuttle, they take off, and actually, there's an honest to goodness, like Picard moment, actually.
Right. Well, before that, just so you know, there was a callback we kind of missed before. I forgot to bring up. He gives her the blanket in the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah.
This is to call back to that, so that it's kind of a moment where she sees, oh, shit, he's doing the same thing he did when he thought I was this other woman. So it's kind of his way of showing. You didn't catch that?
No. Well, now that you bring it up, yeah. No, yeah.
It was exactly that kind of moment. Because remember, at first she kind of just jerks away, and then she's like, okay, I got to trust him. And that was kind of like her realizing, oh, he's doing the same kind of shit he was in the beginning. Hey, Mecca.
Hey, where's Mecca? Hey, Mecca, where's Mecca? She here?
I'm here. I was muted. Sorry. While I get everything pulled up, I get the chat pulled up. Hello.
we're talking Orville.
Poor lady's been moving, so we're trucking along with and without her just the same, but she made it in time for some STD talk and a little bit of Orville, so that's good.
Orville's so good. Oh my god, the Orville's best. I love the Orville.
I don't know if you heard much of what we said already, but we went over the whole Tyler STD kicking in the nuts thing. That
I love that
so much better, and
I love that. I love that so much.
And stuff we were getting into, and we're just getting up to the end of the synopsis of the episode. Kind of actually, we were going to do this quickly, but it's not working out that way.
So anyway, we're at the point where Ed's fighting the Klingorks on the hill and protecting Talea.
Don't you love it? They look exactly like orcs too. Just every little chance they get is just kicking the nuts to STD.
This episode was just a big fuck you to STD.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. It's so great. It's so great. Yes, Mindhunter, Star Trek Orville.
It is.
Yes.
ORV.
Star Trek Orville.
Seth Trek. It's Seth Trek.
STO. Well, that's Star Trek Online.
Yeah,
but I don't think they call them that anymore. But I like that ORV because that used to be what they used to call the off-road vehicles back in the day, like four-wheelers and Jeeps and all that kind of shit.
So anyway, like I said, but the other part about this, I love Malloy on the simulator, on the holodeck, taking the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh,
listen, we got this. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good nod to TNG, to like Deanna.
That sets up the end of the episode too.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
We got this new weapon that like channels our energy back at you. He goes, that shows that, and she was like, yeah. Kelly's like, yeah, that shows thinking on your feet. Actually, that was good. I like that.
You should have been like, I know it's new. You can't see it on your sensors.
Corbomite. That is the Corbomite maneuver.
Pretty much, yeah. But anyway, that actually happened earlier in the episode to where we're like, he basically sees that exact scenario play out in real time when they get back to the ship with what's her face, the Krill Talea.
Yeah. DCV Titan, $5 super chat. So, oh man, thank you very much. You're purposefully trying to drag the Orville discussion to avoid STDR. Yeah, we are.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Oh God, no. I don't want to talk about STD. No.
But yeah, we got to wrap this up so we can get on to that eventually.
So anyway, okay, let's get back. Okay, now they're on the ship, and Ed makes a decision. He's gonna let her go. And you know what? There's how many times in Star Trek, but he's not letting her go like Mikey Spock is letting who do you call it go? Letting Empress Philippa, who gives
Empress, yeah. Or Harry Mudd.
Or Harry Mudd. He's letting it go, like, bring a message back to your people, and it's very much kind of like when Picard would say, if there's to be peace, let it begin here with us,
Yes.
Tell your people that we aren't dicks.
Yes. Tell your people, yes. You could be Pete, why don't you be cool about this? You know?
Not totally cool. Totally.
Is that Arnold?
Almost was for a moment. We have margaritas.
Oh, yes, you do. So, oh my God. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up Avery Bullock now. But anyway.
So yeah, the show wraps up. Like we said, Gordon gets to see his scenario played out in real time, and he basically asked Kelly if it was a good idea to let her go like that, and she says, "Well, he could face, or because he could face Mercer could face court martial and all that kind of shit for letting her go."
But that's what being command is about. That's what command is
right,
about.
because there's all kinds of things. You know, one could just look at it on its surface and be like, "Oh, he's still sweet on her." That's why. No, well, she let him go before. Remember?
Mm-hmm. She could have killed him at any time.
Yeah, well, not just this episode, but I mean, way back in episode whatever it was, 5 or 6 or whatever it was when they were on the krill ship, she let him go at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
And then, but she's like, the next time I see you, I will kill you or whatever. You know, so they set up this whole thing for now. And like I said, they did it so much better than STD did in half the episodes.
Yep.
And
anything you can do, I can do better. I love it. That's exactly what he did too.
So in a way, he's kind of paying that back to her again, even though he just saved her ass on the planet. Also, it's showing compassion. It's showing empathy. It's trying to show that, yes, we are just, you know, we are a giving and caring people, and we are willing to make, you know, some kind of bridge here. And like Kelly is seeing, you know, like she said, you know, he could get in trouble, but it depends on how they see it. If they see it as a worthwhile sacrifice, or however you want to put it, you know, they won't come down on him, which of course we know that's probably what will happen, because this will probably start some kind of ceasefire talks between them in the future, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's something Picard would have done. You know, that's somebody who has, like, he's talking about the bigger picture here. He's talking about peace between these two people. Why keep perpetuating it? Why be a complete immature pussy dick like Michael Burnham would have been? Because Michael Burnham would have just killed her. Michael Burnham would not have let her go. Michael Burnham would not have done anything to kind of progress the story. And then you would have the writers trying to write themselves out of this corner that they painted themselves into.
Yeah. By having Michael Burnham explain why she's so smart that she let somebody go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd all have to just like, okay, Mikey Spock, whatever you say.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, on the inside we'd be,
how dare you talk to me that way, you third-rate tart.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but I love the end though, when he gave her Billy Joel's greatest hits.
Yes. Yes, that was cool.
And she's always a woman to me. She's always a woman.
I played it
up. She takes care of herself. Yeah, so Michael Byrne would do some woman-splaining. Yes. Michael Byrne would do a lot of woman-splaining. That's her. She does human-splaining. That's her shtick. She human-splains to everybody. She's kind of. We'll get to this when we talk about STD.
God.
Dear God.
This is the best episode this season so far.
Yeah.
See, I like gave it like a 7 though, because it was predictable, but just to a point. And that was the only thing.
Well, and as I said, the only reason it's kind of predictable is because this is a common trope, and not, you know, in lots of different storytellings, you know, where you get two opposing people trapped in a situation where they have to work together.
The enemy mine
scenario. It's been used, I think, in Trek before, in tons of Western.
Oh yeah, and Stargate, and yeah. Oh, absolutely. But
Planet of the Apes series, He-Man, I'm pretty sure it was in once.
It probably goes back way before Enemy Mine. Yeah, it goes. It's probably the oldest, one of the oldest.
Like I said, I remember seeing like
in storytelling,
like old westerns and shit. I've seen like episodes, I swear, where they've done the same kind of scenario. Where, like I said, you know, you got two enemy people stuck in a situation where they got to work together to get out of it, and in the end, they end up trusting the other a little bit more. But you know, it's just kind of this. It's a typical trope, and I didn't mind that aspect of it. It was the rest of it wrapped around it that I didn't really see the STD thing coming. Not right off the bat. Not until we got into that situation and she comes in and you kind of get to know, oh shit, I see what's going on here. I didn't think it was nearly as predictable as some of the last few episodes, at least in my opinion.
Well, it wasn't nearly as predictable as STD either, because they did a good job.
A mile away.
Yeah, they did such a good job, and I only knew that was the same woman as the Krill because my chat told me that that okay, that's the same actor.
Yeah, somebody said something about that before, and we should have picked up on that. That's our own fault.
Yeah,
the whole thing it doesn't matter because this was a big fuck you to STD, and they did it better because it didn't matter if we knew that going in or not because it's that much more engaging.
Well, yeah, and you still kind of are, and they waited for the reveal too for a little bit because the Krill attack them and then they leave and then they come back and they light him up with the whatever plasma vent or whatever they did to light him up, and then she's still helping him, and then they're even interrogating him, and then they torture her and she's still out of the Krill makeup, I guess. So it took a while to get to that reveal. It's like they kind of gave you 2 or 3 steps to say, well, maybe she's not the Krill, maybe she's just a girl.
I didn't even really think about it at first until we got into that scenario a little farther. But yeah, again, I wasn't caring. I was just wrapped up in the story of the Orville.
Oh, and that's why they do it so much better because you don't care about the plot twists that are coming because you're just wrapped up in the story. You want to see what happens. You're not just kind of there like, oh my god, and then it's Ash Tyler, and then it's Ash Tyler. Like with Discovery where you just kind of know and you're just dreading and the clock is just kind of barely moving along as they're just taking as long as they can to get through their slow dialogue. And yeah.
The only thing that would have been more obvious is if they would have called her Ashley Tyler.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
Tyler or whatever. Yeah.
Well, they even we'll get into it more when we get into the STD thing about how STD really copied like the first episode of the Orville too.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, and well, yeah, let's get to that here anyway, because it's getting on that time. Rob, what do we say we wrap this up here and move on to a new to the STD review? If these guys want to jump over to that here, we'll wrap this up. Our final thoughts on this episode. I loved it. Like I said, it was my favorite of the year so far. Mecca?
Yes.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I love the character development stuff. Some of the relationship dialogue stuff is kind of not super my taste, but I don't mind it in this because I'm invested in the characters and I love these people. So yeah, I loved it.
Loved it. I keep saying this is actually in this episode, directed by Robert Duncan McNeil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they didn't let him direct Discovery because he's a white man. Was what I've heard.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's right. I seen that in the beginning. I totally spaced that out.
What?
Man, that was one of my earliest. That was one of my earliest videos. Was something about Star Trek Discovery where he wasn't diverse enough, so he wouldn't be directing STD or something.
Wow, they always trying to keep a whitey down. Loved it. Robert Duncan, Brandon Braga actually wrote. I believe wrote this too.
Nice.
Yeah. See what happens when you have people who know Trek?
Yeah.
See what happens?
You can please Trek fans that way. Well, this is why we keep telling people. Like I get people all the time telling me, "Oh, you just don't understand the complex writing of this." And no, I didn't like TOS. It's kind of cringy. I kind of don't like it at all. Then you're not a Star Trek fan. If you don't like TOS and The Next Generation and you love Discovery, you're not a Star Trek fan. You're a fan of Discovery, whatever the fuck that show is. It's not Star Trek. And there's nothing wrong with it, but just stop trying to say it is.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. All right. Tom. Okay, what about this? Did you give it a rating yet? Oh, Tom. We lose Tom?
No, I was setting up the next stream. No, I said it was my favorite episode of the season so far.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I'd have to give it like maybe 4.75 out of 6 Chewbacca's. just shy of 5 Chewbacca's. Because I got a feeling like it's gonna start to get even better.
I think it will. I think it's gonna get better than this. That's why I kind of left this one low too, because I think they're gonna do better.
It all comes down to execution. It really does. It all comes down to execution. So anyway, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. We love this episode. It's great. It was a great episode. Like I said, I don't have anything else to say. So anyway, like I said, we're getting the next stream set up. Everybody, you can hop on over to there. So for myself, if you like what we do, click like, click to subscribe, click the bell icon, head us over to Patreon, support us there. for little as $1 a month. You get all kinds of bonus goodies. And Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I am Mecha Random 42. I complain about Star Trek Discovery. I praise the Orville. We're talking Ghostbusters a lot on my channel coming up in the near future, I think, too. So if you like me here, you get more of me over there.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, like I said, let's wrap this up. There's the music. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us. Check us out over on the next stream.
I'm getting her set up right now.
Yeah. So check us out next time. And we'll see you in a couple minutes. We'll see you then.